Hello, my name is Marina Shank, and I'm here today with Mike Urton. Mike is on staff with the Evangelical Free Church's All People Initiative, where he works to build life-giving relationships with churches and Muslim communities in the Chicago area. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, Mike, there are about 4 million Muslims in the United States. And there are a lot of churches and Christians that really want to build relationships with these Muslim people. There's mosques being built up. There are Muslim-owned businesses and grocery stores all over the place, especially where you and I live here in the Chicago area. So if a Christian or a church wants to build relationships with these people, what tips would you give them to start doing that?
Sure, yeah, good question. So naturally, the best thing is to start with your sphere of influence. So work, school, neighborhood, and just go and meet your Muslim neighbor just like you would anybody else. And if you want to take a small little gift of flowers or fruit or something like this to extend that hand of friendship and say that you want to go deeper in that relationship, and that's one way of doing it. And really, Muslims are people first, so they want relationships like anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. What about those people that don't have Muslims in their immediate sphere of relationships? How would they go about building those relationships?
Yeah, a tool that I have found very helpful is called Zabiha.com. And what this is a website that has Muslim-owned businesses, restaurants from all over the world, really. So if you're going to the website, you'll see in the banner headline different countries around the world. So just click on USA, and that will give you a drop-down list of every state in the Union. So go to your state, click on that state, and then it will give you a list of areas around your state where there are Muslim-owned businesses and restaurants. So you click on that area, and then you'll get a whole list of restaurants and grocery stores and of things like this. And what I recommend is that people find a restaurant close to them, click on that restaurant, and see if they have a Facebook page, see if they have a website, because what you don't want to do is show up to that place and it's not there, because sometimes Zabiha doesn't always update their information. So take a look at their website, their Facebook page. You can see what the menu is, you can see who maybe works there, and you can see their hours of operation. And then I would encourage, if you were, say, a church staff or some kind of ministry group, and you're having some kind of staff meeting, that if you're going out to eat after that or have some kind of special occasion, go to one of those restaurants and try to get to know those people. And if you're going out with your family, go visit that restaurant or get takeout at that restaurant and just try to build a relationship that way. Because I've had some really beautiful relationships start just from doing that and visiting Muslim-owned businesses.
Wow, that's an excellent tip. And the source is Zabiha.com.
Zabiha.com. Yeah,
Great.
We can post that in the comments down below.
Great. So I have another question. What if, a church or a group of Christians wants to build a relationship with the mosque down the street or the Islamic center in the next town over? How would they go about doing that? What tips do you have for that?
Yeah, there's actually another tool that is kind of a sister website to Zabiha.com. It's called Salatomatic.com. So again, in the banner headline, you're going to have all of the countries of the world where there are mosques and Islamic centers, and you click on the United States, click on your state, and then click on the area of your state that's closest to you, and you'll get a whole listing of Muslim worship centers and mosques and Islamic centers. And then, again, just like I said for the restaurants, I think it's a good idea to go and see if they have a Facebook page or a website themselves, because unfortunately, like churches, mosques sometimes close down. And again, you don't want to visit someplace that's not there. And a lot of them will have a contact. It could be the imam, it could be the president of the mosque if they don't have a full-time clergy there, or some of them even have an interfaith committee. So then you can take a tour of the mosque, and while you're there, you can get to know those people, exchange contact info, and just say, hey, how can we take this deeper. We really would like to begin a relationship with you guys. Another thing that you could do is a lot of times mosques and Islamic centers will have activities for the larger community, and they'll post those on their website. And that could be a lecture, it could be like an iftar dinner, which is the breaking of the fast meal during Ramadan, and they just have an open invitation, so you can go and again get to know some people. It's a really great way to get to know folks, especially at an iftar dinner or around a meal, and get their contact info and see if you can build a relationship that way.
Great. Sounds like another great tool. We'll make sure to link those at the bottom. This brings me to really another conversation we want to have, is just how do we get into those faith conversations with these friendships that we've developed. We'll be talking about that in our next video. Mike, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.